Hey, how's it going? Diamond here. Today, we're taking a look at the top 10 SMP plugins. For this top 10, I'm changing it up just a tad bit. Number 10 is going to be the lowest point where it is interesting and it can impact your server, but in the first position, it will truly show itself and your players will experience it a lot more compared to the lower 5 plugins. Each plugin is unique in its own way, and honestly, I'm talking way too much. Let's just start with number 10. Desire Pass. This makes it so whenever a player is walking back or forth to a base or a mine, the plugin will take notice and start changing the blocks accordingly to how much they walk into that certain area. First, it will make it into dirt without the grass. Then it'll put it into coarse dirt to ensure it doesn't grow back. And after that, it'll just make the coarse dirt into a path block itself. That way, after a while, you'll see a nice pathway showcasing where you've been on the map. Number 9, it really took me by surprise. This was just supposed to be a simple, fun plugin a developer made for his friends, and then he published it. It can actually be a very nice Minecraft feature, probably with some things tweaked. But the whole idea is that you can give a sniffer, and this does sound funny to me, sugar and it will explode. But after it explodes, it essentially gives you bottles which you can throw, drink, or even just use the lingering potion to be able to see nearby ores. Essentially, you're sniffing out the ores, which again, real unique. I like it. And it could be something you can give to players as a boost. Number 8 is just something you can either use within the spawn of SMP or allow your players to use the command, and this one is essentially a showcase. You can showcase items. You won't be able to lose or pick up the items that you showcase, and you can customize it to however you want. You can make it bigger, smaller, rotate, or any way. This is a simple showcase mod that is easy to set up. All you have to do is shift and drop the item and you're essentially done right there. It is not that difficult, and I really suggest you just give this one a try. It is simple, of course, and that's why it's still underneath the lower 5. And from my experience, it only took me a few minutes to actually learn how it works. You are going to need an amethyst shard to get it working properly, but that's just one more step for your players to actually explore the world. Number 7 is something that I've been thinking of using on a server for a very long time. This one is known as Time Manager. Essentially, you get to control every aspect of time inside your Minecraft server, from what time it is on a per player base or what time it is on the entire server. You can set it up so it goes extremely fast, or you can set it up so it goes extremely slow. Coolest feature in my opinion would be that you can set up per player to have it so they see it as their own time zone. So if it's nighttime for me and it's daytime for somebody else, they will see it differently than I do. Monsters can still spawn in, so you will not be affected as the server has its own defined time, and players will see a different time completely even though they're on the same exact server. And to me, that just makes it worthwhile, especially for those who have a Earth SMP type server, which makes sense. You can set up different regions for different times. Number 6 is a really simple one. This is just a plugin that I keep forgetting to use constantly, which is physics. Every time you explode or a creeper explodes something or anything regarding an explosion in general, the physics will kick in and you will see blocks flying into the air. It does pair up very nicely with number 3 on this list. So if you want to know what that is, keep watching until the end. But in general, this is such a nice plugin. It's simple, it's very effective, and you just drag and drop and you're essentially ready to go. From my experience, it wasn't that laggy and I was just running on a simple 4 gigabytes of RAM. But in general, it's just something for your players to see when it does occur, of course. But hey, before we get started on the top 5, which are my favorite plugins as well, make sure to check out Revivenode, description down below. Using the promo code DIAMOND in all caps, you can get 15% off your very first server today. I use them, I recommend them, and you can just add these plugins into it quite simply through the plugin manager on the website, or you can just download, drag and drop. It's super easy with the built-in file manager. But yeah, make sure to check them out in the description down below. 5th place is one that really took me by surprise, which was better fishing. And at first I was thinking, how can they possibly do this? There was another video where I added resource packs, but this one was claiming not to have any resource packs. So I gave it a try, and essentially you can fish out of the water. That sounds weird, but whenever you do catch a fish, instead of just grabbing it as an item, the fish will get flung out of the water and you have to kill it in order to actually capture it. Sometimes I've even missed myself and it went back into the water and just swam away, but it's just a new system and honestly makes a lot more sense to me, especially with Minecraft actually having fish in the water now. Number 4 is just a simple system that you can add to your server if you want a little more PvP, or essentially if players are just being bad. You can give permissions or not to your players, allowing them to set bounties on individual players. Honestly, I would set it up if a player kills another player, a bounty will be set up for that killer, making it a nice system. So you want to keep players from killing other players, and every time they do kill, a bounty will be set on them. You can even see that for a board. And if anybody kills that aggressive player, they will get a nice payment afterwards, which I really do like that system. Of course, you can have this set up however you want to. That's just an idea that I think would work pretty well on the server. Coming in number 3, this one, just like the fishing, is something really unique that could be added to Minecraft. Essentially, you can add wind into Minecraft. This one blew me away, quite literally, where it can move mobs depending on the altitude or if they're behind a block or not. It can start tornadoes, which will cause damage, and with the physics mods, really makes it shine as the blocks get flown up in the air and then drop back down, either crushed or just placed back down, which looks amazing. But with that, there also comes sound effects depending on what altitude you have. You can set it up per world, of course, and I just really think this is a super unique plugin. The page says it's up to 1.18, but I did test it out on 1.20.1 and it worked just fine. Coming in number 2 is gestures. Gestures allows you essentially communicate with other players how you want to express yourself. I really think Mojang should add a system like this in vanilla Minecraft itself, especially on the trails and tales where it was to express yourself, so you can do a little dance or an L if you really want to be toxic. Really up to you, but it is a nice way to add it to your server, and for, of course, an SMP type server where it won't give anybody an advantage whatsoever. But as I said, they can express themselves in however they feel at that moment. And coming in number 1, one of my favorite plugins, Seasons. I've done a full tutorial on this, so if you want to check it out, it's going to be on my channel. But essentially, you get to experience every season within Minecraft, from the cold, harsh winters to the pink leaves of spring, or just the orangeness of fall. I don't know, not a fall guy. But overall, it is a very nice plugin, which you can also enable temperatures. It really depends how you want to set up your server. But with this plugin, your players can truly experience something different compared to every other server out there. This is all done without even using a resource pack, so you can just drag and drop and start it. You can set up how long it takes for each season to occur, or if certain features occur at all. One thing I really do like is it just doesn't change the leaves or add snow, but it will also make different mobs spawn, such as bees in the springtime, and more flowers spread across the map. And once it's the next season, it will remove those items, of course, if a player doesn't pick them up beforehand, but it's just really unique what it does to the actual world itself. That's my top 10 SMP plugins right there. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, make sure to leave a like in the video. Really does help support the channel. Let me know what other videos you guys would like me to do. Maybe a top 5 admin plugins may be coming out. Who knows? But other than that, you guys have an amazing day. I'm Diamond, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.